It's only a matter of time. Justice is coming.
What is the cost of lies? It's not that we'll mistake them for the truth. The real danger is that if we hear enough lies, then we no longer recognize the truth at all.
Why would I have anything to say to you? All you do is lie.
What else is left but to abandon even the hope of truth and content ourselves instead with stories?
It's the role of good journalism to take on powerful abuses. And when powerful abuses are taken on, there is always a back reaction.
Take an animal virus and you increase its transmissibility to humans, right. You're saying that's not gain of function?
That is correct. And Senator Paul, you do not know what you are talking about, quite frankly. And I want to say that officially.
When you report fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people. Go ahead.
About is the reality of goodness, not the perception of it. And what I see all over the place is people who care about looking good while doing evil. Fuck them. Okay?
Welcome back. Habbening TV. It's me. It's Joe Biden. This is going to be the last time I'm going to be appearing on this stream. And it looks like I'm at the end of the line, my fellow Americans. It's been a wonderful time. I've sniffed so many girls. I've done so much excellent stuff to America, to the entire country. I've reached out and I've touched everyone in a special place, especially the children. I've printed trillions of dollars, so much money to help with a new green future. I've brought peace to the world, and I'd still be there. If it weren't for that goddamn Trump, but it looks like I'm out now. I tried to organize another instant erection, but it turns out I ain't got any erections left in me anymore. Unless you got a nice child that I can sniff, that might get me going. But the State Department and George Soros, they didn't want another January 6th. Not with me. And even the Israelis were getting tired of so much winning. So it looks like I'm on the way out. And I just want to thank you all for being there for my presidency. And just remember, we can't stop fighting. Trump has a very, very dangerous group of millionaires and billionaires around him, which is very bad because unlike the billionaires that I have around me, people like George Soros and Bill Gates, the good billionaires that believe in democracy and fairness and give their billions of dollars to people like Anthony Fauci. Make sure you all get vaccinated. If you got any unvaccinated children, make sure to send them over Uncle Joe's way. I'll make sure I give them a little prick, and it'll all be over before they know it. And then they'll be properly vaccinated against the COVID. So goodbye, you ungrateful fucks. I'm out of here. I'm off to Israel to relax on the beach. Me and Hunter are gonna get away from LA now that it's all been burned down. We got a nice spot picked out. I'm gonna be relaxing for a while. So goodbye. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to ex-president Joe Biden. This will be apparently his final address via brain chip. Of course, the great and good of the world, they love to use my brain chip in order to talk to you, the little people, the masses, the filth, out there, because they can say things that they wouldn't be able to ordinarily say, because of course they have that plausible deniability, right? It's just some like weirdo streamer, like I didn't really say that, but we know. Yes, it's all over. It's all over for Big Joe and his stuttering Joe. He's out. It looks like it's starting to look like only 4 days until January 20th, bros. It is starting to look like Trump is in fact going to get in, and there will not be any kind of massive glow up to keep him out of office. There are, of course, a number of reasons as to why this is. They didn't decide to do like another 2020 this time, possibly because they've already got the Great Reset. What's Trump going to do? It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy to see. Amero Bros, this must be a very, very exciting time for you, and I'm here to see it. 200th episode, bros. This is the 200th episode of Habbening TV, and of course, in great sort of internet streaming tradition, Restream decided to screw up all the streams that I made, so I had to just redo the Rumble stream at the last minute. Thank you for all the Rumble bros finding me out. All of the Telegram and Twitter ads now point to the wrong stream, and YouTube had just been running a 1 minute 33 thing over and over. Ironically enough, Odyssey seems to be the only one that was properly working. So thanks Restream for changing a bunch of stuff. Look, they didn't make it crap. They made it better, bros, right? They made it better. Anyway, 200 episodes. It's pretty emotional. It's pretty emotional, my dude. So tonight, of course, we have Biden's farewell address. We also have wait, what else do we have? My brain's all squishy. I hate it when things go wrong technically. It throws me out of my pre-stream meditative state. There's a lot of effort that goes into getting the right headspace. Yes, the Israel-Palestine conflict looks like it is on the verge of being over. Whether this is due to Biden or Trump or, let's face it, it's almost certainly Trump coming in. There have been rumors that Trump has spoken very harshly to the Israelis and to Netanyahu and basically said, look, this has to be over by the time I take office. I don't want this Jewish albatross around my neck. What is albatross in Yiddish? Anyway, And he's actually, pressuring the Israelis, something, of course, that, Biden was loath to do, probably because they got a ton of blackmail on him, right? What blackmail have they got on Trump? Everything that could have already been revealed about Trump has already been revealed. So he's in a very, very strong position. The Jews are not happy about this. Many of them are like, but you told me we could, depopulate Gaza and get rid of all the Palestinians and maybe starve them all to death or send them to Europe. Aww. It looks like it's not going to happen. It looks like Gaza is going to be returned to the Palestinians, and I don't know whether they're going to try and set up another governmental structure or whatever. That's in the future, but it does look like it's over. And finally, bros, you're never going to believe this. The BBC, they're very concerned that vaccine hesitancy has taken hold in the wider mind nuts of the British public. Things are so bad, actually, that they've started using the word us instead of them, instead of calling everyone who has reservations about the vaccine a filthy right-wing anti-vaxxer chud. They've started actually making appeals to the normal people. It's bad. It's bad. So we've got a little thing about, the BBC and, just that general, absolutely world-class journalism, of course, that is the BBC, fair and balanced and accurate and just, definitely not some kind of state-controlled sort of thing, more reminiscent of the USSR than a Western democracy. Anyway, excuse me, let's get on to it. I've got to reset up the Rumble chat because, because it crashed, didn't it? So let's see if we can get this to work, shall we? Sorry about this, bros. just adjust. See, you're seeing the magic going on behind the curtain. Usually this would all be done right. So let's see. Hello to everybody in the chat on Rumble. J. Chiva Loophole, Fox39 Forever, Wyatt's Torch, Sadie Sapiente, Years the Eunuch. I will be on Gulag Cafe tonight, Tovarichi. At about 11 p.m. London time, we will be talking about whether the Cultural Revolution has failed or not. Livia Drusilla, great to see you, Livia. Patriots Flow, good to see you, man. How's it going, Patriots Flow? I haven't chatted to you for a while. The Texas Man, of course, our correspondent from the great state of Texas, sent me some lovely gun ASMR. I'll be playing for you later. On YouTube, we have Glenn Llewellyn, Ardent Party, Fox, doesn't look like, I want Uncle Ted's Cavern, Bungie Burger, Linda Hunter, great to see, and Bas Klutwijk, hello, Senor Klutwijk, right, and on Rumble, on Odyssey, we've got like quite a few people on Odyssey today. Machine for Baked Beans, Smack Your Apocalypse, Papa Lazaru, lovely to see you, Dave. I don't know if I'm doing the accent. It's been a while since I watched League of Gentlemen. If you downvote me, why? Something. I am unworthy of speech from Robert. Yes. I know. My filthy opinions are not wanted. Evola 18, great to see you. Rody 1. Man, there's a lot of people on Odyssey tonight. Oh, thanks so much for coming, guys. It's lovely to see you all. Let's get on with it, shall we? Oh, today's meme, of course. Mate. This has everything I want in a meme. Slagging off communists and huge titties. Come on, right? What could a red-blooded, meat-eating man, right, want more than this meme? Under communism, I'd be starving too much to have tits this big. Yes, you would, darling. Communist Party, of course, has responded. This compelling argument has made us realize our ways are unjust. We will be disbanding the Communist Party for good. And just like that, the world was saved through the power of huge titties. It's bound to happen sooner or later, bros. Bound to happen sooner or later. Right, let's get on with it, shall we? So, we were starting with I guess we're starting with the Israel ceasefire thing. Okay, I'm really confused tonight. It must be the 200th episode. I was all like, oh my god, I got to make it good, and of course I fucked it up. So I hope you regard this as an endearing kind of like thing rather than the actual crap it is. So we start with the Israel-Gaza war. Is it a war? Don't know. Sort of like a war sort of implies two sort of equally matched forces. The Gaza insurgency, basically. So as you can see, this is a map of Gaza. A bunch of it has been evacuated. The Israelis have like bulldozed it into sections and basically sort of, wiped the entire place flat. The whole place basically looks like Los Angeles now. Ironic, I guess, God is not without a sense of irony or something. I don't know. So apparently there has been a ceasefire. The news of this started trickling down. The success has gone to your head, Fox39 Forever. Yes, clearly. Oh, and apparently I've got an entropy. Thank you, Saydays. Mikey Bikey, here's shilling for the meter to enable a Rumble chat. Thank you so much, Mikey Bikey. Have a hot dancing girl. Woo! I very, very much appreciate that, mate. Thank you so much. Right. So news of a ceasefire began to trickle out a couple of days ago. People are like, will they, won't they? Of course, possible news of a ceasefire has been happening for ages, only for, one side or the other to just be like, no, we're not really going to do that. The Israelis, of course, had been like, we want all the hostages back. Hamas was like, yeah, but if we give you all the hostages back, we've got no leverage, and you're clearly going to kill all of us, plus you are holding like thousands and thousands of our people in your prisons as sort of hostages. And the Israelis will be like, no, that's different. When you do it, they're hostages. When we do it, it's so it's tricky. This is nothing new, by the way, in the sort of eternal punch-drunk dance between the Israelis and the Palestinians. This has literally been going on for like decades and decades. I don't think there'll ever be peace in the region, to be perfectly honest. Even if they get like a ceasefire, unless they just, eradicate entirety of Gaza and turn it all into sort of beachfront property. The Palestinians are still going to keep being pissed off, and every single time they come in, the Israelis call this mowing the grass. Every 10 years or so, they just go in and they just flatten the entire place, kill as many people as possible, and then let them rebuild. And then when they get too uppity, they just do it again. It is what it is. So allegedly, Al Mayadeen, I presume this is a media outlet of some kind, has said that the terms of the ceasefire agreement in Gaza are as follows. Now, apparently, this was mainly brokered by the US with help of the Qataris, and apparently there was some offense involved. I don't have the tweet. I didn't stick it down on my thing, but apparently the main negotiator from the US is this guy Wycliffe, I think his name is. Anyway, he's Trump's sort of new Israel envoy, if anyone wants to look that up. And apparently he went over to the Israelis with the latest version of the deal, and the Israelis are like, "Oh, well, actually, it's Sabbath. We're on the Sabbath today. We can't really talk to you." And he was not very impressed. He's like, "Yeah, I don't give a shit whether it's Sabbath or not. You're gonna read this thing." And the Israelis were like, "Oi, Gewalt! That's very what are you talking about?" And so then he got the thing, went back to Qatar, and apparently it's all on. Obviously, though, we will see, right? When it comes to the Israelis and the Palestinians, nothing. Even when it's over, it's not over, right? It's never going to be over. So, full withdrawal towards the border from all areas of the Gaza Strip. So the Israelis are going to leave the Gaza Strip, all that lovely beachfront property, with all the concrete husks and stuff, mate. Oh, dude. They are going to reopen the Rafah crossing. Of course, for those who know, Rafah is basically sort of the only real way in or out of Gaza that does not lead directly to Israel. The Rafah crossing, of course, leads into Egypt and is highly, highly fortified. Because the Palestinians be crazy, right? And the Israelis originally were like, "Hey, I've got a great idea. What if we force all the Palestinians out onto the Sinai Strip and the Sinai Peninsula, then it'll be Egypt's problem." And the Egyptians are like, "Nah, fuck that. We're not doing that." Travel of the wounded for treatment abroad. Ooh. When they say abroad, where do they mean? Oh, how much do you want to bet they mean Europe? How many of those Palestinians do you think are going to be going back to Palestine? This, unfortunately, was also a big sort of desire of the Israelis to deport as many of the Palestinians to Europe, where they would be Europe's problem. Yeah. Evola 18, yeah, RMHS, yes, indeed. 600 aid trucks will be allowed to enter daily as part of a humanitarian protocol sponsored by the Qataris. 200,000 tents and 60,000 caravans to be brought in for urgent shelter. Prisoner exchange, release of 1,000 prisoners from the Gaza Strip and hundreds of prisoners sentenced to life and high sentences. Clearing the occupation prisons of all women and children under 19 years old. God, war is really hell. Israeli withdrawal from the Netzarim corridor and the Philadelphia corridor gradually. The Philadelphia corridor is the bit along the edge of the Rafah border. I don't know where the Netzarim corridor is. It's not on that map. Might be up north. Sorry, I don't know. The return of all displaced persons to their areas of residence and freedom of movement throughout the Gaza Strip. Well, this is the thing. So they have not really achieved the long-term goal of depopulating Gaza. Absence of aircraft over Gaza for 8 to 10 hours daily. Rehabilitation of all hospitals, field hospitals, medical and surgical teams into Gaza. The first phase will last 6 weeks in exchange for the delivery of 33 Israeli prisoners. 33, you say? Am I being schizo? I don't know. Including living and dead bodies. This will be completed in the second and third phases to negotiate the remaining 66 prisoners held by the resistance. On the 7th day, the displaced from southern Gaza will return to the north without inspection after the Israeli military withdraws from Rashid Street to the depth of the Netzarim axis, and the people of Gaza will have freedom of movement north and south of Gaza via Rashid Street. And then on the 22nd day, Israel will withdraw pretty much entirely from Gaza. Now, whether this is going to like happen, I don't know, man. I don't know. So Trump basically said, there's been a handshake. Supposedly it's going to be like a 42-day truce. We'll see. Mikey Bikey, Netzarim Corridor is the line that splits Gaza in two. Thank you very much, Mikey Bikey. Muchly appreciated. Now, Trump has issued a statement on Truth Social. This epic ceasefire agreement could only have happened as a result of our historic victory in November, as it signaled to the entire world that my administration would seek peace and negotiate deals to ensure the safety of all Americans and our allies. I am thrilled American and Israeli hostages will be returning home to be reunited with their families and their loved ones. With this deal in place, my national security team, through the efforts of Special Envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, that's the guy, not Wycliffe, Witkoff, right, will continue to work closely with Israel and our allies to make sure Gaza never again becomes a terrorist safe haven. Don't know how they're going to do that. Perhaps they will rebuild Gaza as like the most extreme version of like a smart city and use it to sort of like test out all the new sort of AI and surveillance technology that has been developed since the last time it was raised to the ground. We will continue promoting peace through strength throughout the region as we build upon the momentum of this ceasefire to further expand the historic Abraham Accords. This is only the beginning of great things to come for America and indeed the world. We have achieved so much without even being in the White House. Just imagine all the wonderful things that will happen when I return to the White House and my administration is fully confirmed so they can secure more victories for the United States. Yeah. So, and look, even Chuck Schumer was saying that there's a deal. So, as a sort of representative of the American chosen, he's usually the go-to guy. So generally speaking, if he says it's happening, or they're going to say that it's happening and then do something else.
Let me begin by speaking of the recent news of a ceasefire agreement in the Middle East. I have good news. I have just been informed by the administration that a deal has been agreed to. It is welcome news that there is an agreement that will free many of the hostages. A ceasefire is very good news for Israel, for America, for the Palestinian people, and particularly for the hostage families who have waited so long in agony. A ceasefire will reduce violence in Gaza and harm to innocent civilians. It couldn't have happened without steadfast diplomacy and until the potency of Hamas was radically reduced. We will not rest until every hostage comes home.
Well, there you have it. It would seem, right? If Schumer says it. Now, some of the right-wing Jews around Netanyahu, in case you're not really up on Israeli politics, Netanyahu's government is held in a sort of coalition with a bunch of really, really schizo right-wing Orthodox Jews. People at the Temple Institute. There's a few others, but they're all like they're crazy, right? Like they're like, oh, we're going to rebuild the Second Temple, and the Messiah's going to come back, and they're like, and some of them are extremely upset with this, basically saying that Trump has betrayed them. This is a clip in Hebrew. I don't know exactly where it's from, but I got a translator, so check it out.
When Trump was elected, I said here that the first to pay the price of his election would be Ukrainians. I wondered, it could be that we are the first to pay for Trump's chosen choice. In this deal, I don't want to say we're trying to get in. You can use anyone, and I don't know all the details, so I'll be more careful, etc. But I don't think this is what we planned, and this is what we expected. Let us do other things. I think that whoever takes control of the northern Gaza Strip will allow us to prevent humanitarian aid from reaching these areas, and that's how we put pressure on Hamas. What is happening, and we need to tell the viewers the truth, if 1 million Azadis return from North Herzliya, Sohar will not return to fight in North Herzliya. You will not do this whole event again to take 1 million people out of there. It will not happen. We need to tell the truth. They may remain in parts in the perimeter, in Philadelphia, etc., but 1 million people returning from North Herzliya ends the story. And one more thing, and that is that the kidnapped families are probably right, but Hamas's strategic weapon is the kidnapped. They will always sing with their hands towards an argument coming.
So, I mean, yeah, basically, again, they're like, look, you know, the plan was always to remove all of these people from Gaza and, you know, send them to Europe or send them to Egypt or, you know, send them where they'd be someone else's problem. That clearly has not happened. Now, Biden, of course, made an announcement saying that it was all down to him. I'm not sure that's the case. Everything I've seen suggests that the Israelis were running rings around the Biden administration, using all of the sort of, you know, diplomatic tricks for which they are very, very well known, essentially. You know what I mean? Oh, yes, we're going to do it. No, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you know, here we go.
Because at long last, I can announce a ceasefire and a hostage deal has been reached between Israel and Hamas. For more than 15 months of conflict that began with Hezbollah's brutal massacre on October the 7th, more than 15 months of terror for the hostages, their families, the Israeli people, more than 15 months of suffering by the innocent people of Gaza. Fighting in Gaza will stop, and soon the hostages will return home to their families. The elements of this deal were what I laid out in detail this past May, which was embraced by countries around the world and endorsed overwhelmingly by the UN Security Council. The deal is structured in 3 phases. Phase 1 will last 6 weeks. It includes a full and complete ceasefire, withdrawal of Israeli forces from all the populated areas of Gaza, and the release of a number of hostages held by Hamas, including women and elderly and the wounded. And I'm proud to say Americans will be part of that hostage release in Phase 1 as well. And the Vice President and I cannot wait to welcome them home.
So there you go. Some people were a bit skeptical over whether this was in fact down excuse me, down to Biden and Blinken, who is of course Jewish himself. But then again, so is Wycliffe, Trump's new Israeli guy. So you know, it just goes to show you, really. Someone asked him whether. Oh, I'll check this out.
Who does the history books credit for this, Mr. President? You or Trump?
Is that a joke? Oh, thank you.
Oh my God, the way he does that, like turn and smile, right? Like he thinks he's at the end of like an 80s action movie, right? Like he turns like and like expects to like freeze frame and like the music, but he just looks like an old fucker, like, you know, who's like really devious. Sadie Sapiente, what the fuck was that? Quite indeed, what the fuck was that? And in a development that literally surprises nobody, Israel has delayed approving the hostage deal, accusing Hamas of reneging and stoking the crisis. Now, based on my observations of the Netanyahu government, I don't think they want a ceasefire at all. I would go so far as to say that they probably also don't really want the hostages returned, because once the hostages are returned, they won't have an excuse to continue the war. And the objective of the war is to depopulate Gaza. So until Gaza has been depopulated, they do not have the sort of the outcome. Livia Drusilla, Trump's ambassador to Israel is not Jewish. He is a devout evangelical. Oh, thank you, Livia. Okay, so there you go. Okay, I mean that would explain why he did not take the sort of Israeli position that they could not negotiate on Shabbat seriously. Thank you, Livia. Chat is always my second brain. Much appreciated. So an expected vote by Israeli Security Cabinet to approve the Gaza ceasefire deal has been delayed by several hours, followed by an accusation from the Prime Minister's office accusing Hamas of trying to thwart finalization of the deal at the last moment. Now, it's been made pretty clear through a number of channels that Trump really wants this over by the time he gets into office. It would be a huge win for him. It would, a big part of his platform is, securing peace in the Middle East. And many people have speculated that he leant very, very hard on the Netanyahu government, right? Basically saying, look, if this isn't over by the time I take office, you're gonna regret it. Up until this point, the Biden administration has basically refused to use any significant pressure on Israel, such as cutting arms supplies, economic sanctions, there's so many levers that the U.S. government could use against the Israeli government if they wanted to. Shit, they could just suggest that they'll start talking to the ICJ or something like that. But no, the Biden government has literally done basically nothing except sort of cope and seethe and mold. And it's going to look a bit weird if all the US politicians, particularly Biden, are like, we've got a deal, it's done, everyone's patting each other on the back, and the Israelis are like, oh no, actually, we can't sign, we looked at the fine print and it turns out. So, watch this space. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens with this. My sort of gut feeling is that the Israelis will probably fold on this issue unless they really, really want to piss off the Trump administration, which is probably not a good idea. I don't know. Watch this space. It's hard to tell. And of course, at the moment, the Trump confirmation hearings are going on. Pete Hegseth, of course, looks like he's going to be confirmed as Defense Secretary. I watched some of the confirmation hearings. It was pretty funny. But of course, everyone was on tenterhooks to find out the answer to the most pressing question of the day.
Support Israel's war in Gaza. I support Israel's existential war in Gaza. I assume, like me and President Trump, you support that war as well, don't you?
Senator, I do. I support Israel destroying and killing every last member of Hamas.
And the third protester said something about 20 years of genocide. I assume that's our wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. Do you think our troops are committing genocide in Iraq and Afghanistan?
Senator, I do not. I think our troops, as you know, as so many in this committee know, did the best they could with what they had.
Support Israel.
So the Israelis could be sort of like thinking to themselves, well, we've got people like Hegseth coming into the Department of Defense. We've got a lot of Christian Zionists, in the administration. Maybe we can work with them to get around Trump. I don't know whether this will be a successful strategy or not. Watch this space. Mikey Bikey, Trump is the only one who holds any influence on Bibi. Yeah, I think you're correct. And I think one of the reasons for that is because they haven't got anything on him. There's literally nothing they can blackmail him with. There's no shenanigans they can get up to really sort of force or control Trump. From Trump's point of view, the fact that Trump has gone through like this 4 years of just digging into like every single part of his life and trying to like screw him over. There's really nothing left. And even if they found something at this point, how many people would actually believe anything that they said, right? Like if they came out and they're like, oh, we've got secret tapes of, Trump like having sex with a hooker, everyone would be like, oh, look, we don't care. Just, yeah. So Trump's in quite an interesting position, a position that I don't think you could say that any other American president has been in living memory. Right. So Biden is out. He's off, mate. He's off to he's off to Epstein Island, to sniff kids, retire like Cincinnatus and have sex with his slaves or whatever bloody horrible thing he's gonna do. He had a farewell address that some people watch. Most people don't seem to care. They're just like get the fuck out, you old fart. We're sick of you. After giving medals to billionaires, Biden warns of oligarchs, abuse of power, and the tech industrial complex in his farewell address. Yeah, he gave the Medal of Honor to fucking Alexander Soros. If you can believe that. I mean, what is there not to believe? Livia Drusilla question, when is Biden going to pardon Cheney, Fauci, and his brother? Well, I assume, Livia, it will probably be on the day of or the day just before Trump's inauguration in order to lessen the fallout, would be my guess. So it's the 16th today. I think the inauguration is on Monday. So probably Sunday night, Sunday midnight, like Sunday at 11:55 p.m. That would be my guess. No. She means Livia Sades. She means not Dick Cheney, but his wife, his daughter. Which Cheney are we talking about, Livia? I'm sure you know the answer to this. So we got a few clips. Wait. Edie Wolf, was it given to George Soros and Alex Soros just represented him? Oh, God. Yeah, probably right. You know, for service to the regime in, you know, fucking over the America. Daughter Liz, thank you. It's Liz Cheney. Thank you, Wyatt's Torch. Yes, right. After 50 years of public service, I give you my word, I still believe in the idea for which this nation stands. A nation where the strengths of our institution and the character of our people matter and must endure. Now it's your turn to stand guard. Yeah, he was surprisingly composed in this, probably because it wasn't live, it was pre-recorded. Someone at the White House like fucked up and showed like the computer for a little bit, and you know it was just an MP4 file that they were like playing. So let's have a look. He was trying to like basically channel Eisenhower, warning about the military-industrial complex, and he kept like talking about like, you know, how an oligarchy is taking over America. Bit fucking rich coming from you, buddy boy. Like, but no, you don't understand. This is the wrong kind of oligarchy. Not an oligarchy of malarkey, as it were. An oligarchy. Fucking hell. I'm going to be glad to see the back of this guy.
Speaking to you tonight from the Oval Office. Before I begin, let me speak to important news from earlier today. After 8 months of nonstop negotiation, by my administration, a ceasefire and a hostage deal has been reached by Israel and Hamas, the elements of which I laid out in great detail in May of this year. This plan was developed and negotiated by my team and will be largely implemented by the incoming administration. That's why I told my team to keep the incoming administration fully informed, because that's how it should be, working together as Americans. Speaking to you.
Working together as Americans. I distinctly remember not so long ago when you were calling them all MAGA extremists. Ooh, how the turntables turn. Fuck. Now we've all got to work together as Americans. Well, you know, what kind of American are you? I guess, as the saying goes. Now he's trying to basically say that, you know, the PayPal mafia and stuff are all robber barons, unlike, of course, like George Soros and Bill Gates, who are, you know, philanthropists and just want the best for the world. Oh my God, this is just, look, the rich rule us, right? It is like the only choice you get is, do you want this group of rich people ruling you, or do you want that group of rich people ruling you? I will go with the group of rich people that are not trying to institute climate socialism. Personally, right? I'm just saying, right? I'm not being like, oh, I love the PayPal mafia. Oh, you know, Daddy Musk. I'm just saying, right? Like, lesser of two evils, kind of thing. You know, if you get what I'm talking about.
I have no doubt that America's in a position to continue to succeed. That's why my farewell address tonight, I want to warn the country of some things that give me great concern. And this is a dangerous and that's a dangerous concentration of power in the hands of a very few ultra-wealthy people. And the dangerous consequences if their abuse of power is left unchecked. Today, an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy.
You mean you, right? Like, literally you got into office, passed like a shitload of executive orders, printed like $4 trillion out of thin air, gave it all to like political extremists, and basically put the entire of America and much of the world into a cultural revolution. You talking about that? Oh, get out! Just get out, you old man.
Our basic rights and freedoms, and a fair shot for everyone to get ahead. We see the consequences all across America, and we've seen it before. More than a century ago, but the American people stood up to the robber barons back then and busted the trusts. They didn't punish the wealthy. Just made the wealthy play by the rules everybody else had to.
Oh, the wealthy have to play by the rules that everybody else have to. Well, I will be sure to pass that message on to George Soros and ask him what he thinks about that. Fuck. Dude, the brass neck on this motherfucker. My God.
Workers want rights to earn their fair share. You know, they were dealt into the deal, and it helped put us on a path to building the largest middle class, the most prosperous century any nation in the world has ever seen.
Oh my God. Does this motherfucker, like, does he even look at the economic data? Under Biden's fucking regime premiership, the middle class in America has been decimated. Like, oh, dude. Like, mate, Ameribros in the chat, how do you feel about this characterization of your country? Awesome, right? Awesome. He was also talking, so Fox News, of course, had some like quite good snark about this. I'll, check it out.
Was that all of the so-called oligarchs that supported him in 2020 got tired of him. So Mark Zuckerberg gave him $419 million to work the 2020 election in key states, and he had no problem with that oligarch. Reid Hoffman, another billionaire, funded the E. Jean Carroll suit to go after Donald Trump. He had no problem with that oligarch. He gave the Medal of Freedom, Citizen Freedom, to George Soros, who pretty much did his best to destroy the criminal justice system in our big cities. So he's not credible. And when he talks about misinformation, the FBI conspired with Facebook to censor stories about the laptop that it was authentic, which it was, and then 51 so-called authorities supplied him on the prompt of Anthony Blinken before the debate with Donald Trump in 2020 to lie that it was Russian disinformation. They cooked it up. He cooked it up. Joe Biden via his own future Secretary of State.
So yes, most people know this. I believe we have another entropy. From Sadie Sapiente. $5. Happy 200th episode. Thank you so much, Sades. Have a love heart and a dancing girl. Oh, yes, and I should say, if you want to send money for beer or snacks, keep the streamer alive, you can send via Entropy or Ko-Fi. Linkies are in the description of the video. Zim wishes that you would.
We need Earth monies to appear as normal Earth peaks. Mini Moose, how much have we earned?
Tuna is worth nothing. Let's see, what else we got? Here's Biden basically... Oh, yeah, so this is him attempting to channel Eisenhower, who, of course, famously, in his farewell speech, warned about the military-industrial complex, which then went on to dominate, not only the US, but much of the world. To be perfectly honest, I give him very low marks for this.
Farewell address, President Eisenhower spoke of the dangers of the military-industrial complex. He warned us then about, and I quote, the potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power, end of quote. 6 decades later, I'm equally concerned about the potential rise of a tech-industrial complex that could pose real dangers for our country as well. Americans are being bare. Farewell address, President.
Yeah, I mean, didn't your government massively interface with the tech companies in order to basically censor the shit out of not only Americans but people all over the world? Oh God. Oh, dude, the hypocrisy. I think that's... oh, wait, hang on. Oh yeah, so he's also like, you got to stand guard, bros. You got to stand guard, right? Like it's not over while I'm gone. Keep the flame alight. And I'm sure that this is what all the lefty fucktards and the Soros boys are all about. They're like, we're going to wait him out. In fact, James O'Keefe just busted this dude from the Pentagon. It was very, very high up in the Pentagon, saying on a hidden camera that he was contacting a bunch of ex-generals and they were doing fundraising and they were trying to like basically make like a sort of like parallel government in waiting to wait out Trump. Now, I very, very much hope that, the Trump tards crack down on this very, very hard. Otherwise, this is exactly what's going to happen. They'll just like set up a little egg sack in waiting and spend the entire of like Trump's term trying to like mess with him.
My eternal thanks to you, the American people. After 50 years of public service, I give you my word. I still believe in the idea for which this nation stands. A nation where the strength of our institutions and the character of our people matter and must endure. Now it's your turn to stand guard. May you all be the keeper of the flame. May you keep the faith. I love America. You love it too. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you for this great honor.
So there you go. There you go, bros. We got another entropy. From Texas, man. Well, I mean, he did send me it, so I'm really sort of, duty bound to read it. Happy 200th episode, nigga. Thank you very, very much, Texas, man. For $20 US. I very much appreciate that. Wait, actually, let me give you a special N as a thank you. I appreciate it, mate. Right. Let's see. What else have we got? Now, yeah, so as I said, it was basically pre-recorded. If you were watching the stream from the White House, they basically just played an MP4 file. As you can see here, this is just a capture. Whoever's using, they're using Windows. God, how gay. Of course they are. See them go into like the file there, and they just play the MP4. There you go. Boom. Future is weird. The future is very weird. Let's see, what else have we got? And at the same time, of course, Trump is, he's ready to step up. These are the inaugural portraits of both Trump and Vance. People have basically said it looks a bit like a buddy cop movie, with Trump being the old grizzled detective and Vance being the sort of like young, up-and-coming sidekick. And I found this clip, which is quite interesting. Check this out. This is RFK basically saying that Trump is going to like start wrecking shit as soon as he gets in.
A lot of people think that of Trump as a conventional politician because the last time around he initially appointed a lot of very conventional people of kind of lobbyists, etc.
Yeah.
People don't remember almost his entire cabinet was gone within 2 years.
Yes.
As he learned to govern, and he wants to do, he will do what he wants to do. And I spent 2 days with him recently, and he was saying things that were kind of shocking to me. He was saying things like that, the kind of change, the level of change that he wants to make in our government, I think is going to be unprecedented. And
shocking to you in a good way?
Yeah, in a good way. But just, that it's so impolitic. He's an impolitic guy, and I think he's a guy that does what he wants to do.
Well, can I give you an example?
He wants a revolution, and I think he's going to get one.
He's going to get a revolution. Bro, I mean, RFK looks a bit. I wonder what Trump told him. We're going to get all the leftists and we're going to lock them in camps, big, beautiful camps. I'm going to build them. We're going to re-educate them all to love America. And if they don't love America, we're going to send them all to Greenland. Fuck. Oh, mate. Oh, it's going to be interesting, mate. It's going to be interesting. Right. So, our final story. of the night, bros. You may remember a few years ago, if you haven't been sort of clubbed over the head by terminal forgetfulness syndrome, there was a very, very safe and effective vaccine that people were gently encouraged to take for a very, very deadly pandemic that was absolutely real and in no way fake or gay, absolutely at all. And you may remember how people who did not want to submit to this very gentle suggestion to take the vaccine were called very, very bad names. Well, it looks like things have gotten very bad indeed. This is from BBC In Depth, bros. This is their new thing where they cover topics in depth. I think it's basically a rebrand of like Verify because everybody hates BBC Verify. So like, how do we do propaganda without it looking quite so much like propaganda? I think that ship has sailed, BBC, personally. Maybe you shouldn't have lied so goddamn much. But I mean, it's the BBC, so. The rise of vaccine distrust. Oh, I thought it was called vaccine hesitancy. Why vaccine distrust? It seems we've had a rebrand, ladies and gentlemen. I'm always here for it, right? You know, when the deep state does a language rebrand, I'm always the first in line to use their new language. You know how much I love to conform and to comply. Mate, I'm going to be in line, for my next fucking COVID jab. I just wish I could get like 5 at a time, bros. That's how much I do love to comply. The rise of vaccine distrust. Why more of us are questioning jabs. More of us? Us? What do you mean, us? What do you mean, white man, right? I mean, this is very, very telling, right? The rebrand from hesitation to using words like us, right? Usually the framing up to this point was, there's us and there's them. The filthy vaccine, skeptical, questioning, far-right conspiracy theorist deniers, right? These little things are tremendously significant, right? Why more of us are questioning the jab? Well, what this means, presumably, is that even normal people, even people who aren't far-right conspiracy theorists, have been noticing that they got injured by the jab. Who would have thunk it? Don't worry, bros, don't worry. Any side effects are very, very, very rare. You'd hardly ever notice them unless you literally talk to anyone in the medical industry, right? Like, just talk to any doctor who isn't completely paused, and they will tell you. They see people all the time, right? I love the way this is framed, bros. Actually, I need a voice. COVID vaccines saved lives. Lots of them. Research by the World Health Organization now puts the number at 475,000 in the UK, with many more kept out of hospital or off a ventilator. Oh, I disagree. I think it was 5 gorillion lives that were saved by the vaccine. Countless lives. How can you even put a number on it? You're racist. The jabs were a scientific miracle, we were told at the time. Our best hope of life returning to normal after months of lockdown restrictions. Yeah, it was a lie. It was a lie. A fucking lie. But something has happened in the years since. Yeah, people discovered that you lied. Funny how that works. Research suggests that confidence in all types of vaccination has taken a significant hit. I literally said exactly this in fucking 2020 or some shit, right? When they started forcing this on people, maybe 2021. I'm like, you realize if you do this, right, and you hurt all of these people, then confidence in all vaccines is going to go through the floor. And all the people that I told this to were like, nah, that's never going to happen. Mate, fucking, it's the great paradox of the pandemic, says Dr. Simon Williams, a public health researcher at Swansea University. Well, shit, mate. If he's at a university, he must know what he's talking about, right? Like, look, I went to university and every single person there absolutely knew what they were talking about. Oh, this is not just affecting vaccines. This is a massive legitimization crisis, like all across the institutions of the entire Western world. Universities, doctors, it's just everyone. The legitimization crisis is real, bros. One of the most successful innovations in public health history. No. You want to know what the most successful innovation in public health history was? Toilets and running water. Sewers. Sewers was the most successful innovation in public health history. The rapid development of COVID vaccines has actually had the effect of reducing public confidence in vaccination. Oh my God, who could have foreseen such a thing? Fuck me. So here's that little graph. This is from YouGov, and I don't fucking trust YouGov at all, which means that the numbers are probably worse because YouGov is, massively regime. So basically, just after the jab started, the 75% of people thought that vaccines did not have harmful effects that were not being disclosed to the public. That has now dropped down to 60%, right? So it's been a 15% drop. Not that huge, but still shocking. The number of people who said yes just after the COVID vaccine started were 14%. Just a small vocal minority. We can just lock them all in camps. But is now at 30%. Ooh, now, in political science terms, that's what you call a plurality, ladies and gentlemen. You can't just lock all of them in camps. It's too many. I guess unless you get them to build the camps that you're going to lock them into. So there's only really now 30% difference between these two groups, right? By the way, there's 11% who just don't know, right? It's literally always been that way. For the last 3 years. There's just 10% of people who just, I don't know. In 2023, around 70% of UK adults said that vaccinations were safe and effective. You do realize that's because you kept yeeting everyone off social media who dared to suggest that they weren't, right? In 2023, right, 70%, which is down sharply from 90% in 2018, before this thing kicked off. This is very much part of a worldwide trend. Oh, wow. Maybe you should do more social media censorship. That's sure to fucking fix everything. So yes, vaccinations are falling. People don't want to get them. The sudden sea change in attitudes. It's not just for extremists anymore, bro. Actual normal people are beginning to question the vaccines. Oh my God, the horror. So basically, it's just people, talking about how awesome it was when they were doing the big vaccine drives. People coming out and making tea and coffee. There was a real feeling of camaraderie. But around the middle of 2021, she noticed a sudden sea change in attitudes. Do you think that could be the point at which the government started mandating them and forcing people to get them? Do you think that might have, had something to do with it? Ooh, who can say these things are a mystery? Patients would start saying to me, why should I trust you? You work for them. You're being paid by them. You're part of the government. We quickly went from being lifesavers to just another part of the system that no one trusted in some spheres. Yes, because of the coercion. Oh, for fuck's sake. Before long, protesters appeared. And now, 4 years later, they're I think what COVID has done is amplified a confidence issue that was already there and ramped up some of the doubts and question marks for people because of all the injuries and the coercions. And also, because the vaccines didn't fucking work, right? They're oh, look, you take the vaccine, you're never going to get COVID. That was a lie. You take the vaccine, you can't spread it to anyone else. That was a fucking lie. Originally, they're you'll only need one. That was a fucking lie. They knew... It's fine. I'm over it. I'm never going to be over this, right? Be on my fucking deathbed. I'll be like, the fucking vaccine. Fuck you. Fucking hate the government. Be like Cartman up in this bitch. Oh my God. Fucking dude. So anyway, Andrew Wakefield, they then go on to say blame misinformation, of course. Oh God. I hate the BBC so fucking much. And just a little historical revisionism for you here, bros. The data now shows that the jabs did their main job, helping our bodies clear the virus and cutting the risk of severe disease, hospitalization, and death. That's not a fucking vaccine. That's a therapeutic, right? A vaccine is a thing that you take that renders you immune to getting the disease, right? That's why if you have a fucking smallpox vaccine, you can't get smallpox, right? Something that helps you clear the virus and cuts the risk of severe disease is a therapeutic, right? Texas man, Mr. Fist loves the BBC. Yes. Very, very, very deeply, I do. Here's a picture of, Boris looking all forlorn. Very, very, oh God, I just hate it. I hate it. Like, vaccine fatigue. They're always bringing out measles now. They're like, you got to get your measles vaccine. And look at this. Look at this shit, right? Things are bad when the actual people working in the NHS don't want them, right? So when COVID started, right, they had a coverage of about 70% for both the flu and the COVID vaccine, right? And remember, they were like firing anyone who resisted or spoke out. And since then, it has basically gone to 18.5% for the COVID booster, they don't want them. 35% for the influenza vaccine, they don't want them, right? Must be all that misinformation, right? Like, gee, that misinformation must be very, very powerful if even the people who are actually working in nursing don't want to get them, right? Personal liberty versus state control. Where was your strong stance on personal liberty when this shit was going on? Of course, no mention of ivermectin, and of course the article ends by saying we need to be more assertive. No, you don't. That's literally what got you into this mess in the first place. Fucking public health people. It's all they think about, right? But don't worry, bros. This is why you can trust the BBC. From 2017. Something tells me they should update their page. These are all the reasons you can trust the BBC, blah, 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 best practice, blah, 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 all the shit that they ignore, basically, right? You can trust the BBC. Now, part of this, of course, has been sprung by the COVID-19 inquiry, which is now moving into examining people harmed by the vaccine. This is the part that a lot of people actually care about because they were injured. Now, of course, they're like, we want to hear your story. Yeah, well, you didn't want to no one wanted to hear their stories when it was actually happening, right? Maybe if you'd listened to these people's stories as it was actually happening, then, we could have avoided this, but no, right? So these are these people basically who've been injured, clinically vulnerable families. No, clinically vulnerable family. I think these are the people who are still masking. They do have a section where they're going to be hearing from people who got vaccine injured. It's gonna be interesting. But again, no one really cares, right? Look how little interactions these posts have. It's all over, right? Now, Richard Tice is, sort of being his usual semi-cucked self, talking about this as per usual. He wants to say the thing, but he won't say anything too controversial, which is why he'll never be an effective leader.
Let's stick with health, shall we? And Matt Hancock is going to be given evidence today in front of the COVID inquiry. The focus today is going to be on vaccines, the vaccine injured and those who died in the pandemic. What would you like to see happen in that instance to those who were injured and those who died?
Well, we've got to have some changes to the vaccine compensation scheme. I'd like an apology, actually, from Mr. Hancock. I mean, what he did during that was utterly just horrendous at every level. And I think we've got to have more honesty that, whilst the vaccine was safe, and if it was safe for many people, we have to be honest that for some people, and probably a larger number of people than many would like to admit, actually it has caused harm, and therefore you've got to look at the compensation scheme. And these are difficult issues for many, many people, including many professionals who at the time bought into the consensus establishment narrative.
But that's the same with any medicine. Isn't it? And any vaccine and any medicine
correct.
at all. But is the sense that not that something was necessarily done wrong in one sense, but the fact that it was so mandated? Is that part of the issue? Choice was removed.
If you'd been more honest with people, saying, look, this is an urgent vaccine, and we think that it's appropriate for what was originally said, which was the elderly, I think above the sort of 65, 70s. But then the narrative changed, and all of a sudden they wanted everybody to be vaccinated, and we stood against that. We said, we don't think that's appropriate, in particular, all the way down to children. And, I think some I think some very bad stuff took place. So, you know, I just think we have to be honest about people. Say, look, it's urgent. This is an emergency vaccine. We think it's right, but equally, you know, it's got to be a voluntary basis.
Tice, you're such a cuck. I don't have footage of Hancock talking to the inquiry, but I can tell you exactly what he's going to say right now. He's going to basically say, I did nothing wrong. Everything was awesome. Any mistakes, like, you know, we couldn't have known what happened at the time. Hancock he's not going to say anything. But don't worry, bros. Soon the scourge of misinformation in the UK is going to be addressed. So from July, people are going to have to robustly verify in order to browse porn. How are they going to do this robust verification? They're going to demand photo ID, run credit card checks, or you can just scan your face. Now, what they really want, of course, is this face scanning technology. This is what they're going to be using in Australia, I'm pretty sure. They really want the ability to tie an internet account and the person using that internet account to a facial ID, right? So that if you go on the internet and you say any naughty words, of course, they know exactly who you are and they know where to send the hurty words police in order to arrest you. This whole like pornography thing, I think is just like, look, don't get me wrong. I don't want kids watching pornography either, but I don't think that the government really gives a shit about this. I think what the government really gives a shit about is people questioning the narrative and questioning their power base, right? It has been a long, long tradition of using pornography and think of the children as the beachhead in order to crimp free speech. And I suspect, in fact, the way this bill is worded is that any social media platform that allows pornography, you're going to have to do this ID check in order to access. So that means Twitter, that means Telegram, that probably means Facebook as well, not YouTube, presumably. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see like what actually happens. They've got a thing, email-based age estimation. What the hell does that mean? What, they send you an email and say like, what, write 100 words, right, on like why you want to like jack off to this thing? Oh my God, fucking. So, yeah. So, you know, it's coming, bros. It's coming. They clearly cannot have a situation where people are allowed to question the narrative. There's a new law as well on the books they're trying to get through, where you won't be able to say anything offensive in a pub because it might affect the rights of the staff there. And if the pubs don't police speech within their pub domains, they could get like massively fired. Again, it's starting with things like, oh, you're not allowed to say that, like, you know, trans women are men and all this kind of like other stuff, but we know where it's going to go. We know where it's going to go. This is the holy grail, right? Like, they really want to get back to Twitter 1.0. They love that, right? Like, Twitter 1.0 was basically their wet dream, right? Where just anyone who had anything to say, counter the narrative, was like, well, you can just shut the fuck up, right? And there was no leakage from, you know, the small vocal minority over to the mainstream. So I guess we're going to see where this goes as well. Right. That's all the news. I hope you have enjoyed. It is now time, bros, for some cringe. Really, bro, how's that going to look on my social credit score? I don't think my social credit score is in very good shape. Actually, bros, you know, but like, you know, in for a penny, in for a pound, you know, there's only so far your social credit score can drop, I guess. You know, so, you know, once you're already down there, you may as well go for broke, I guess. Right. Now, not everything was going well during the Biden admin's wrap-up tour. Tony Blinken. Oh, we got an entropy. From Ardent Party. It's an ad. Nice one, Ardent. For $3 US, bored between Habbening TV and Gulag Cafe. Come and check out a new Thinking Man's Thursday video, Rumble on Rumble. Okay, happy 200th episode. Thank you very much, Ardent. And I will absolutely stick this in the chat. Ardent has a show that I believe is going to be on after this one, before Gulag Cafe. Come and check it out, bros. I'll paste it. I'll paste it into the chat. See, there you go. Now that's some cheap advertising. If you too want to sponsor this channel, all you got to do is send me stuff that you want me to shill via Super Chat, and I'll do it. Like, you know, I'll promote anything, almost anything, right? Oh, here we go. We got another one from Mikey Bikey for $5. Happy 200th Habbening. Oh, thanks, Mikey Bikey. I really appreciate that, mate. Let's have a 2 more weeks and a dancing girl. And have some confetti. Thank you so much, everyone who supported. In 2 more weeks, bros, I should have enough to buy my private island. I try not to use the confetti because it like messes with the video compression, but you know, it's 200 episodes, so you know, 2 more weeks. Thanks very much, Mikey. Okay, right. Let's. So yes, not everything's going great for the Biden wrap-up tour. Antony Blinken was speaking in his final address to the nation, and one of these fucking journalists got all up in his face. Don't worry, justice was served.
I carry in my pocket the names of those who have been arbitrarily detained and unfairly held hostage, unjustly held hostage, and bringing them home, returning them to their families, returning them to their loved ones. Finally,
get your hands off me! 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 Answer a damn question. Do you know about the Hannibal Directive? Do you know about Israel's nuclear weapons? Everybody from the ICJ. I was sitting here quietly, and now I'm being manhandled by 2 or 3 people. You pontificate about a free press? You pontificate about a free press? You are hurting me. You are hurting me. You are hurting me. I'm asking questions after being told by Matt Miller that he will not answer my questions until I ask him questions.
Sir, respect the process.
Wasn't the point of the May 31st statement to block the ICJ orders? You blocked the ICJ orders.
Please, sir, respect the process. Thank you.
Oh, respect the process. Respect the process. While everybody from Amnesty International. From Amnesty International to the ICJ saying that Israel's doing genocide and extermination. You're telling me to respect the process. Criminal! Why aren't you in The Hague? Why aren't you in The Hague? Why aren't you in The Hague?
Finally.
Why aren't you in The Hague? Well, Mr. Journalist, because the international rules-based order does not apply equally to all countries within it. You should know this. It is just merely a construct by which the countries that designed it can lord over the countries that do not. Texas man, what other full-service things do I offer for money? Oh, well, you just just send money, make a request, right? Like, you know, partial nudity is fine. You know, try not to do anything sexy. You know, I may say racial slurs for money. Look, you know, just send me some money and find out, Texas man, you know. Oh my God, check this out. Channel 4's got a new documentary, bros, coming up right now. If you're familiar with Channel 4 and the kind of documentaries they do, they have a long history of whenever they want to push a certain issue, they get a group of really, really stupid people, like literally the stupid people that they could find. And then they basically surround them with clinical psychologists, right? And like confuse them and then get videotape of it. Really famous one of this was this documentary called Vaccinated, where they got a bunch of like stupid people in and took them away in a house in the countryside for a week to get poked at by psychologists. This is the new, are you against mass immigration, bros? Are you against mass immigration? Well, you're stupid. You're stupid. Look at these stupid people being stupid.
Places we're going to. Dream outcome, come back alive.
6 opinionated Brits.
People can call me racist, but my views are just basic common sense.
Are going on an extraordinary journey.
You don't get that in South Yorkshire.
To find out why asylum seekers are coming to Britain.
Is it too late to pull out?
Oh, don't shoot me yet. Now you can.
Have they bitten off more than they can chew?
Oh my God, what is this?
Syria is scary.
And will they change their minds?
I don't know what we're going to do.
These kids eating trash. How come no one's helping them?
Why are we continuing to allow the boats in? We are full!
A new series. Go back to where you came from.
Oh, yeah, man. Look at all that stuff happening in all these bad places around the world. It really wants me to, like, stop having borders and shit. You know? Fuck. Mate, I'm sure clips of this will be floating around. Yes, let's fix the world, right? We're only a small island in the Atlantic Ocean, but, you know, let's invite everybody in, you know? This came across my Twitter feed. This is from, like, the Oxford Union from a while back, but I thought I'd share it with you all.
Hamburger comes with a dose of misogyny. The assumption that the best protein comes from corpses is a racist belief. 21st century animal eating requires our complicity in a new colonialism. Our whiteness is part of the problem of meat eating. If you eat animals, you take up more climate space. Meat eating is also one of the ways gender-based structures of oppression are perpetuated. Men in the West are taunted to renew their man card by eating meat because that's what real men do. That's the sexual politics of meat, and it reveals how unsettled masculinity really is. That's why after 9/11, That's why after 9/11, a focus on men as heroes and on meat eating became part of the reclamation of a wounded masculinity. When a black man was elected as U.S. president, we saw how white this wounded masculinity was. White supremacists weaponized it, eating meat, eggs, and dairy. Images of milk-drinking white men, of platters groaning with meat, and the baiting of liberal men as so-called soy boys are all part of the neo-Nazi messaging. Sexy cows, sexy pigs, sexy chickens, sexy fishes, who all just want to have fun.
Oh, we got another super chat. Texas man. Oh, no. Yeah, Texas man. Eat more meat. Thank you very much. I have been informed by the chat that we have more confetti ration. Thank you very, very much. Texas man. Much appreciated, mate. Actually, wait. I got a Chad walk for you here. Eat more meat. Mr. Livesley says eat more meat, boys. Thanks, Texas man. Much appreciated. Right. What else we got? What is this? Oh my God. Look at this. This is, mate. One of the worst things about living in London is our globalist shitbag of a mayor, Sadiq Khan, who's not he's the mayor of London, but he's really the head of the C40s initiative, which is a sort of globalist group that encompasses like the 40 largest cities in the world, right? And one of the things about Khan that annoys me the most is just the way he just looks down on everyone. He's literally like some shitbag Roman emperor, except brown. You know what I mean, right? So like, I don't know, some Indian Punjab or whatever, right? Look at this shit.
The year's only just begun, and already we've seen at least 9 major stabbing incidents on our streets. On the 1st of January, 25-year-old man stabbed on Oxford Street. 5th of January, double stabbing on Kilburn High Road. 6th of January, 18-year-old man stabbed on Prince Imperial Road. 7th of January, we know the tragic murder of Kellyanne Bokassa, stabbed in broad daylight on a bus. Also, 7th of January, reports of stabbing in Mile End. 11th of January, stabbing and 2 shootings in Homerton. 13th of January, father of 2, Gregory Castillo Volquez, stabbed to death in Haringey. And on the 14th of January, stabbing outside City and Islington College and also on Ilford High Road. My team has been working on a budget amendment where we would like to fund almost 1,000 police officers to deliver a targeted knife crime task force. And the way we do this is reduce the cost of your staff budget back to 2016 levels. That will give us the funding to do this. Now, obviously, I can't table that as a budget amendment on my own. I need support from other groups. Would you encourage members of other groups, perhaps your own group in the Labour Party, perhaps the Conservatives, perhaps anybody, to second that amendment so that it can be discussed and debated in full next week at the budget meeting?
As a rule of thumb, I never encourage anyone to work with reform.
So that's a clear no. So this is a really important issue, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, the figures quoted in the police and crime plan show that 70% of Londoners rank tackling knife and gun crime as one of their top priorities for London. You talked about cross-party working. I think that's it's a question of priorities. You've shown what your priority is. I'm showing what my priority is. I really, really hope that other members present, perhaps will have a more constructive conversation with me. Thank you.
I don't work with reform. They're fascists. Oh, God, what a horrible, horrible toad of a man. Now, Trudeau's on his way out, bros. You're excited for the next iteration? Any Canada bros in the chat excited to have Mark Carney, ex-Bank of England head, running their country? Oh, you should be excited. You should be excited. This is him from, this must be a while ago. I think this was back when he was still working in the UK. Check this out.
You demanded action, and now it's time for the financial sector to deliver. To reach net zero, every country, every company, every bank, every investor, every pension fund around the world will need to make some big changes. In the run-up to COP26 in Glasgow, we have an enormous opportunity to bring climate change into the heart of every financial decision. And our plan will manage the risks from climate change while helping to seize the opportunities from a newer, greener economy. The UK has been at the forefront of innovation for centuries, brimming with ingenuity and a can-do spirit. It also houses the world's largest financial system. And by bringing them together, we can deliver the net zero world that you've demanded and that our future generations deserve. The world's coming to Glasgow. Let's reshape finance for a sustainable world. You demanded action.
Yes, the climate has to be at the heart of all financial transactions, bros. Apparently the Odyssey stream has gone down. Well, obviously people on Odyssey can't see the Odyssey stream. If someone could post the Rumble link in the Odyssey chat. Odyssey's been acting very, very fucky all day. I think they've been having site-wide crashes and stuff. So, yeah. This is kind of funny. I don't know why Labor is going around canvassing houses, but this is the kind of reaction that they're getting at the moment. Check it out.
Hello there, my name's John. I'm calling from your local Labour Party.
Labour can fuck off. Labour, fuck this country right up. Fuck off, go on, fuck off. Fucking Labour, all they've done to this country, all they're for is fucking Muslims and all the shit. That's all they want in this country. This country's fucked. You fucking lot, go and fuck off. Fucking Labour scum.
Yeah, well, he's going to get a visit from the Hurdy Words police, isn't he? Isn't he? Fucking awesome. This is a bit of ASMR sent to me by Texas Man. Honestly, I could go to sleep listening to this. This soothes me so much.
Boom diggity.
Now that is some ASMR I can get behind. I don't know. Maybe they had one of those e-girls, whispering over the top, the AK-47. Clickety, clickety. Oh, Odyssey's back. I don't know what happened, Odyssey bros. Right, we got some Garen music for you. Enjoy.
I fucking had it with hearing lies about the Irish people. Everybody says all we do is drink. Well, here are the stats. Latvia, the Germans, where's Ireland? Okay, fair enough, that is quite high, but it's not first. Maybe we do like a drink or two, but the English and the fucking Americans are just as bad as us. Wait till you see. They'll pop up on this list now, the drunken bastards. Here they come. Here they're coming now any second. They're not even on the fucking list. Well, this is embarrassing. Listen, it's different in Ireland. They're only pints, harmless pints. What are they drinking in Latvia? Probably vodka. Awful stuff. You cannot be drinking that. In Ireland, we just have a harmless little pint. It is a full pint, but harmless and small. And it's not drinking, it's a pint. You might go out with your friends for a pint, or you might have a pint with your dinner. You might come out of the toilet and celebrate with a pint. Anyway, why are the Germans drinking so much? Follow me, I'm delicious.
No, exactly, right? Pint isn't going to, like, hurt you. It's fine, right? Right, we just got some funny videos. I think Sade Sapiente sent me these. Thank you very much, Sades.
I know everyone says this, but I feel like I made a genuine connection in there.
Dan,
this
is her job,
No,
dude.
she let me follow her on Instagram. She's gonna let me follow her on Instagram. She didn't even dance, we just talked. I feel like I went in and I met Diamond, but I left knowing Denise.
Who's Denise?
She goes by Diamond, she's one of the dancers.
Diamond? Wait, what did she look like?
She had that Bart Simpson tattoo next to the tattoo of the cross that had the word Cincinnati on it.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Really tasteful stuff.
Dude, she gave me a hand job. How much did you spend in there?
$800.
Jesus.
Well, he's got to learn someday, bros, right? Oh, this is pretty good.
So you would do anything for like all the illegals and stuff?
I think we have to be fair.
Guys, this is great. I think we found a new home for you guys.
What guys?
There you go.
Is that your bus?
Yeah.
I don't understand what this is all about.
The immigration. They're gonna move into your house.
They are not.
What do you mean? You just said you wanted to support everyone, though.
Okay, that I don't.
No, they're
Guys,
not
we
violent.
got a
They're
new
not
house.
violent. They're good. They're
Oh no,
like
hop it! Just like you guys did before.
Thank you very much.
Can they stay for dinner? Wait. Well, we have your signature. You guys got to drive back down south.
Back to Home Depot.
Dude. Oh, this is good as well.
Enough is enough. As women, we demand to be treated equal to men. Equal rights, equal rights, equal rights. What was that? What was that?
Ladies, a foreign country has just attacked the U.S. We're drafting all you women to the front lines.
Wait, what? What?
This is what you all wanted, right? Equality to men?
That's not what we meant.
You can't have it both ways. You want to be equal to men, it's across the board. Which means, let's go, Brian! On the bus now! Now! Move it! Move it! Move it!
Don't worry, girls. We'll take care of the kids while you're gone, and we'll write you every day.
Watch out for bullets! Keep your head down! Alright, guys, wine and bachelor at my house tonight! Yeah! Guys, we should have done this feminist stuff a long time ago!
Reverse feminism. Fucking BMW drivers, bro.
Welcome to Driver's Ed for BMW drivers. Question number 1. Hey, no vaping in class, unless you brought enough for everyone. Now, if a light turns green and a car hasn't gone after 0.3 seconds, what should you do? Honk. Great. Another acceptable answer, rev engine until fist fight. If someone tries to merge in front of you on the highway, what should you do? Gun. If someone's going 90 miles per hour in the fast lane, what should you do?
Tailgate them within 2 inches. 2 inches, which is what most BMW drivers are familiar with.
That's correct. Classic situation. You're 7 tequilas deep at B-Dubs wearing an Affliction shirt.
Classic Monday.
Do you A, call an Uber, B, put it in sport mode, C, put it in Sport Plus mode, or D, UI?
D. Although you can't get another DUI if you already have one. 2 negatives make a positive. And I'm positive that I haven't been drinking, officer.
Give him the keys.
Guys, this sounds really dangerous.
Shut up. I didn't know this was Prius Anonymous. If the speed limit is 65, what should you do?
What is a speed limit?
Exactly.
I don't know if this is the best way to be teaching us to drive a high-powered sports car.
Are you dumb or just retarded?
Right, we got some cute animal videos for you now. Enjoy.
Pick up a duck. Part 3. Common problems and mistakes. So, you've found yourself a duck, but you find yourself chasing after it. It always runs away when you try to pick it up. Don't do this. If you're behind, that should remind you that that's wrong. If you chase a duck, it'll run. So get in front of the duck and introduce yourself and state your intentions. Hello, duck. My name is Human Name, and I'm going to pick you up now. Place your hand firmly underneath the duck, palm side up, and lift. Congratulations, you're now holding a duck.
My name is Human Name. So cute. Right. This cat revolting against the modern world. Me versus AI. Right. Don't know what this is. Busted. What else have we got? More cat shenanigans. What else we got? Oh, this is funny.
Thea, was it you? Did you knock her down? Was it Storm?
Who did this mess? Cody, did you make this mess?
Who took the cookie off the counter?
Who did this?
Who did this? Who did it?
Who did this? Who did this? Who did?
Remy, one of these.
Bailey, did you finish Annalisa's breakfast this morning?
Who's flip-flop? Who's cuddling with my flip-flop? Joey, is this you?
Just like stick their head in the corner. If I can't see them, they can't see me. Right, what else have we got? Rat Fun King, I got your Telegram message. I'll play that as well. More cute doggos. What are you doing feeding a dog broccoli? That's bloody cruelty. Right, we got this from Rat Fun King.
I don't like your peaches, they are full of stones. I like bananas because they have no bones. Don't give me tomatoes, can't stand ice cream cones. I like bananas because they have no bones. I don't like your peaches, they are full.
Aw, that's quite cute. What else have we got? Right. Weird cat. Get a better power switch, I guess. Oh, more cute kitties.
This kitten suffers from a condition called RPF, resting panic face. No matter how happy he is, he still looks very worried. His name is Beans, and the only thing that helps is to hold him like a little tiny baby. But that only helps a little bit, and he still gets a little bit worried.
Aww. He's got compound PTSD. Oh, this is cute. I love Samoyeds. Aww. Things with the ears. Right, our final cute animal video of the night. Dog Stick Library. This is from Texas Man. Thank you very much, mate. Aww. High Trust Society. High Trust Dog Society. Right, that's the end of the show. Thank you so much for coming. I'll be on Gulag Cafe in about an hour and a half on Years the Unix channel. Tonight, the Cultural Revolution and has it failed? Why did it fail? All that kind of like other stuff. Quick goodbye to everybody in the chat. Fox39 Forever, Seti Sapiente, Teabagging Therapist, Ardent Party, Ivan the Horrible, Rat Fun King, Cthulhu Loves You. Who else we got? Patriots Flow, of course. Great to see you, mate. Anybody else? Mikey Bikey, thank you very much for the super chats, Mikey. Much appreciated. Texas Man, of course. Wyatt's Torch. Crispy13. Is that everybody? And Livia Drusilla, of course. How could I forget? Right, I think that's everybody. On YouTube, we had User Has Been Banned for Naughty Words, Janice, Linda Hunter, Uncle Ted's Cavern, Bas Klutzweig, Stumbling, Total Blackout Painting, good to see you, mate. Anti-Whiteism Ends With You, Glenn Llewellyn. I think that's everybody on YouTube. Apologies if I missed anyone. And on Odyssey, Papa Lazaru, lovely to see you, Dave. If you downvote something. Highland Full, good to see you, mate. Flying Axe Blade. Machine for Baked Beans. I think Smack Your Apocalypse was there as well. Sorry about the Rumble stuff. Evola 18. Is that everybody? Anyway, I think that's as far up as my as my Odyssey history goes. Right. Have an excellent weekend. I'll be back on Monday for another Habbening TV. And thank you so much for coming, everyone, and thank you very much for everyone who super chatted. I'll see you in a couple of hours, or on Monday. Take care, guys. Good night.